and welcome to Hypothetically Intentional, where we ask the question, what if we set intentions with everything we do? I'm your host, Michelle Albers, and today I have Laila Seidel with me. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
It's so great to have you here. Before we drop in, I would like to set an intention for this conversation, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. I love intentions.
My intention for today, I feel like you do a lot of very unique things that I'm very curious about. So, my intention for today is to show up curious and inquisitive in a way that perhaps showcases what you do and how it can help support people on their healing journey.
That's a good one.
So, welcome.
Yeah. So, I quickly introduce myself.
Yes.
So, as you said, my name is Laila Seidel. I'm originally from Germany, but I live in Czech Republic, and I'm a painter and paper cut artist. I also sometimes practice Reiki, and I like to sometimes set an intention as well before I start my work.
Beautiful. That was the Reiki piece was something that I found out about. We had a quick conversation before we met to record, and I met you at an online event. So we don't really know each other yet, although even after that quick conversation, you just mentioned so many things where it feels like we're aligned in a lot of the different ways we show up in the world, in Reiki and in creativity and in compassion and healing.
Yeah, and maybe also traveling. You mentioned
Traveling as well,
silent.
yes. Yes. I'm noticing the photo or the picture behind you. I don't believe it's a photo. Is that your paper cutting?
Yes, yeah, that's one of my paper cuts.
So those of you on audio are going to miss this part. But for the video people, this is amazing. That's all just you cut paper to make that happen.
Yes,
Can we
exactly.
start there? And can you just tell me a little bit? I've never heard of this modality before, which is maybe me being in a cave, but it's fascinating. And that is absolutely amazing how much detail you can get into that.
hmm Exactly. So there are basically two approaches to paper cutting. There's I call it like the fun approach, or the Christmas decoration approach, where you just use pen and scissors and paper to cut simple shapes. And then there is the more professional approach, where you use a little scalpel or a swivel knife. I'm
Oh,
not sure
wow.
if you can see it. So it has a super small blade that can also rotate.
Wow.
And this gives you the possibility to almost use it like a pen and to cut out super small shapes, especially the round shapes, which would be hard with a normal scalpel.
Oh, right.
And
Because it's stagnant or it stays, it's stationary. So you can't
yeah,
cut the round shape as precisely as you can with the swivel.
exactly. And also this little blade lasts me only for one artwork max, because
Really?
the blade gets blunt. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Do you plan out the design or like what you're creating before you start cutting
Yeah,
paper?
absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Like all my artwork is inspired by traveling, and I take a lot of photos. And then when I'm in the studio, I go through the images and see what could be a good match for a paper cut, because it needs to have like a high contrast, and it needs to have a composition, or I need to make it a composition that is balanced, not too much white, not too much black. And after some time, you get an eye for it. And of course, I also play around a little bit and like reduce the colors already on the laptop. But then I really have to make decisions like, okay, which parts do I need? What needs to stay? Where do I need to put extra little, yeah, connections that are not on the original image? Because in the end, I have really like one sheet of paper, so it's not a collage. It's really one sheet, and everything that you see in white is just, yeah, cut out of the black paper.
Oh, so you're not like cutting and pasting. This is like removing parts that
Mhm.
need to be like highlighted and leaving the black in the background or the foreground, depending on how the image works.
Yeah,
So are they always black and white?
they don't have to be. When I started experimenting with paper cuttings, I also used more colorful papers. But when you have like, you know, your typical pre-colored paper, when you hang it into sunlight, the colors will fade super quickly.
Oh, that makes sense.
So that's why I now use special paper cutting paper, which is black on one side and white on the other side. So I can make a drawing on the back, like on the white side, and in the end, it will be turned around, and you have the black in the front, and it's supposed to really stay black. Yeah, even when it's exposed to sunlight for a long time.
Wow. I feel like there's so many beautiful metaphors in all the ways you just described that you do that modality and how you work with the paper to carve out what's not needed and to create
Yeah.
this beautiful mastery. I absolutely love that. And I find it I was not expecting the detail that I see behind you. Like there are people in this and it's black and white and it's I didn't realize it was removing pieces versus like putting things together, which is another just beautiful expression of what belongs, what doesn't, what aligns, what doesn't. I just think
Yeah.
that's fascinating.
Yeah, for me, it's also a little bit like you know, the cord cutting that you do in
Yeah,
Reiki. It's also like let go of what you don't need.
right. Well, and to be able to see that accurately, that's a skill and a talent. Plus, you're doing it mirror image, which is also fascinating to me. How amazing is that? So, if you turn it around, you would have almost like the negative image of
Yeah.
what you're actually creating. That's
Yes.
so amazing. If you're okay with it, I want to. Well, first, I wait before I move on. Do you teach classes for this? You do, right?
Yeah, from time to time, yeah.
Do you teach them in person or do you have them online as well?
I used to do them in person, and right now I'm recording like a free masterclass. First for the fun approach with the scissors, but then later during the year I'm planning to also do a masterclass for the yeah, for my technique. I put it
Wow.
online. Yeah.
That's so I'm excited about that. I'm excited that as much as I miss a lot of in-person things and I still seek those out, I really appreciate that you can be in Czech Republic and I can be in Minnesota, USA, and we can connect in this way and I can learn from you and you can learn from me. And I just think that's a beautiful thing that we can connect in so many different ways now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really the big advantage of our time.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to those coming out for sure. I'm curious about, and I happen to know because of our previous conversation that you have a book coming out. And
Yes.
I'm wondering if you would tell me a little bit about that because I believe it has to do or involves in some level your healing journey.
Yeah, a little bit, but also the paper cutting. But yeah, first, like I'm super excited to now also be a published author. It's the first time for me. Um,
Yeah.
and I need to
Congratulations.
get yeah, thank you. Need to get used to it to say I'm not only now an artist, I'm also an author. And it's an amazing project organized by Jessica Hughes. Yeah, who also organized the event where we met.
Yes.
And it's the book is called Radical Courage, and it's a compendium of over 50 authors, mostly women, and they all wrote their personal story about courage. And I hope it will inspire a lot of readers.
Yeah,
And
will you give us a sneak preview a little bit of like how your story fits into the book Radical Courage?
yeah, so of course, I was thinking about what courage means for me. And then also paper cutting is a very nice tool in the way, because as I said, it's about cutting things away, and also it's about irreversible decisions, because
Mm,
once a piece is gone, it's gone, and you cannot make any corrections. So actually, every little cut uh, is training your courage. But it's also about traveling. I was in Egypt a few weeks ago for an artist residency, which was beautiful. And there we had a lot of events. Also speaking publicly in one of the biggest newspapers
wow.
on the theme, the impact of war on arts and literature.
Oh, wow.
And when I first heard the topic, I was like, "Ooh, that's that's a lot. That's a bit heavy." But yeah, in the end, I dared to say something, and what exactly I said, and how I got the courage together to to speak out. You can read that in my chapter.
Beautiful. So, do you normally do public speaking?
um, not as a speaker. I'm used to speak in public as a teacher,
Yes.
um, and also as a tour guide. But this was the first time for me in like a panel where we had a lot of writers and other artists and intellectuals in in this form.
Yeah, I relate to that a lot. I don't consider myself a public speaker, but yet I public speak all the time because I am a teacher.
Yeah.
But that's a
Now you have a
different,
podcast.
yeah, I had a podcast. That's fair. But that's a very different hat to wear than like what you just described, to step into a panel about the impact of war on, did you say art and literature?
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's no beginner topic, nor is it a lighthearted one. So, what a beautiful experience to be able to talk or to speak from the heart about your experience with the journey of paper cutting and how things change and evolve over time, and depending on what's going on in the world too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's also why I love these artist residencies. Yeah, because it combines traveling and exploring the world, and then meeting a lot of interesting people who then also organize other events that you get invited to. And I think it's such a perfect way to broaden the horizon and to try new things. And you never know what evolves from them.
Right. You have me really wanting to dive into travel. Are you open to talking about travel?
Yeah.
I find, I feel like sometimes I learn the most when I'm traveling, especially if it's to a place that feels completely different than home. Do you find that? And then meeting new people who
Yes.
you would never meet if you didn't land outside of your doorstep, like to travel outside of your normal places, so to speak, and then
Mhm.
meet new people. I mean, heck, even on some level, we did that at the Made for More event, virtual event. Like I wouldn't
Hmm.
have met you if I didn't step outside my normal virtual world and hop into that experience. And here we are recording a podcast together.
Yeah. And do you travel usually alone or with a
No,
group?
I usually travel. I either travel with my partner or my kids, or I travel like bringing groups to Thailand specifically because it's
Yeah.
my home away from home, and I love to share it with people in a way that they wouldn't otherwise experience it just because of I have friends and family there, or friends I
Hmm.
consider family there. So it's just a
Yeah.
different experience. Do
Yeah,
you
sure. That's
prefer, how do you like to
nice.
travel?
I usually travel alone. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's as I said, it's nice to go to a symposium and meet people there, but yeah, just going there on my own to explore. That's really I need it. It's
Yeah.
important for me, and I think when I go on holidays with my partner, it's also very nice. But I never meet so many people or have so yeah like different experiences.
Do
It's
you have an easy time talking to people, like approaching people you don't know and striking a conversation?
no, not necessarily.
Are people
It's,
drawn
but
to you?
it
Do
just
people,
it just
yeah.
happens. Like when you're, uh, I think when you're alone as a female, people are very open to talk to you. And especially when I think of Thailand, I had a super nice experience. I was in Chiang Mai and I went into a small travel agency to book one or two tours, and I got to talk to the owner, and we kind of connected. And she told me about a new tour that she was planning to go to the local market and to do a little food tour. And she asked me if I wanted to test it, like for free.
Oh, amazing.
And yeah, she just needed my feedback. After so many weeks in Vietnam or Cambodia where people constantly wanted to sell you something, and here it felt like a real connection and just a real exchange of opinions
Yeah,
and tasting, trying something new.
that's amazing. So when you travel, do you have a balance of like alone time to just connect with yourself and explore on your own, and then also invite or explore areas or situations where you can actively engage with other people and make that an intention? Or like, do you have a specific way you like to do it?
Yeah, that's actually the best how I describe it. Like when I go to residencies, for example, I usually stay a little bit longer or travel earlier so that I have a little bit time for myself um, on on the way while getting there, or yeah, just staying longer, exploring different cities. But also, yeah, it's also nice to have the time with the other people, sitting around the campfire, drinking a
Yeah.
glass of wine, creating art alone or together.
Will you tell me a little bit more about the residencies that you're speaking of? Like, are they always with the same, like, is there an organization that does it, or do you seek them out and it's from different places, or how does that work?
It's different. Sometimes I'm just looking at certain websites to see like the call for artists, and there are a lot of different versions of these residencies. For example, in Germany, there are only long-term, like 3 months
Oh, wow.
residencies that you have to apply for, and then it's like a longer selection process. But what I really love are the like 10 days symposia, like especially for painters. And I found out that they are really common in the ex-Soviet states. And I have a friend in Romania who's organizing events in unusual places regularly. And that's super beautiful because I just get an email and say like, oh, I'm organizing something in Cairo. Would you like to come next month? You know, and it's like, okay, great. Yeah, put me on a plane. I'll be there. And so first we met in Romania, where he's organizing his residencies, but then he organized another one in Kyrgyzstan, which was super cool. Sleeping in yurts at the
Mm.
Issyk, which is a huge lake. And on the other side, you could see the snow-covered mountains in China,
Wow.
and super not touristy, yeah. So very off the grid. It was really about exploring the unknown. And we also met in New York, where he was having a reading. Yeah, and now Egypt. And there's no pressure about creating something. So we will always create something, and there's always like some presentation in the end. But it's not like you have to give two finished painting to the organizers.
Mm.
There are also those symposiums, like for example in Latvia, the Mark Rothko Center is organizing super interesting residencies, but they are different. They have like a strict plan, like for every day. It's like, I don't know, 2 hours of sightseeing, then meeting, meeting some organizers or museums, and then painting for hours in the afternoon. And
Will you
then
tell me a
you,
little bit? Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. I just wanted to say, and then in the end, you give two of the works that you created kind of is in exchange for the experience, and it goes into their collection, and they will organize also exhibitions later in museums around Latvia, which is also fantastic.
Yeah, that's amazing. I was going to ask you if you'd tell me a little bit more about your painting. We've talked about the paper cutting, but you are a painter. You started with painting, yes?
Yes, yes. I studied free visual arts in Ottersberg, which is close to my hometown in Germany, and I love strong, vibrant colors. Yeah, so I also mix most of my colors just from the primary colors, like the magenta, cyan, yellow, black, and white. And
Wow.
I think, well, originally I tried all the different how do you say it? Anleitung. No, well, we're told that you need to use a special type of yellow or a special type of
Oh,
red to create skin color or something like this. And then I thought, oh, that's so complicated. And if my printer can mix all these colors, then I can do it as well.
that's amazing. What a great, I love that connection. Like if my printer can do it, why can't I? That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's so good and simple. It seems so simple. I'm sure it's not simple to get exactly the color that you want, but when you say it that way, it seems way more simple than starting with the plethora of colors that exist.
Yeah. And you
Wow.
really you can mix most of the shades. Yeah, maybe not some super brilliant red, and may of course not neon colors, but the regular
Yeah.
shades for sure. And it's actually similar, like to my paper cuts. I travel, I take a lot of pictures, and then I see what inspires me, and it can be portraits of other artists. It can be just scenes where people are walking around in nature or around some buildings, and they are on the search for inspiration. And since I moved to Czech Republic, I also love exploring the garden and the
Mm.
forest and the fields. So recently I have painted more nature images, and during winter I felt my body aching for strong pink tones and for neon green. So yeah, at the moment I'm trying something new, and I'm really using those super bright colors again. Yeah,
That's
because the
amazing.
nature paintings were a bit more, uh, yeah, more green shades and brown shades, and not so much these super vibrant
Yeah.
tones.
I love it. Sounds to me like you paint literally everything. like you're not tucked into only portraits or only nature or only scenery. Like you do all of it. And it sounds like you move through whatever you choose to create through inspiration. Is that do you just find yourself do you ever find yourself uninspired? I guess that's a good question to like if you're uninspired, what do you do? Or does that just not happen for
I
you?
have I don't have that issue. For me,
Yeah.
it's the other way around. I have still so many images that I would like to turn into paintings, but it just takes such a long time.
Yeah.
And I like in the past years, I sometimes struggled to explain what I'm doing.
Mm.
But then the last 2 years, I was really thinking about a lot how to explain what it is that I'm creating, and I came to the conclusion that it's just about exploration. Yeah, it's
Oh,
travel, it's exploration, and when I see something that I love, then I just want to turn it into a timeless piece of art.
that's amazing. That's amazing. Do you teach painting as well?
Sometimes, yeah.
Or is it more just your thing, like your sacred practice?
No, no. I used to teach it in the past, and in 2 weeks I'm going to Germany to teach in summer school, and I love it because that's also like a little holiday
Yeah.
plus teaching. Um, yeah, it's just always juggling a little bit, like having enough time for my own artwork, working in a day job, now also creating the website and like really building an art business. Um, yeah, and then teaching. So it's always sometimes more of this, sometimes more of that, and now the book. So
That's
so
so
many beautiful
good.
things to do.
Right. Well, and sometimes it's like I love that you said that you don't find yourself uninspired. That's amazing. But I also understand and realize that to be like over inspired, right? To have more things that you want to do than you have time for can sometimes feel a little off as well. But how amazing to travel the world and take pictures and take note of which which things or areas created some sort of inspiration that inspired you to create a timeless piece of art. That's awesome. Do you find that creativity, like you said, you need to travel, like traveling by yourself is important. Do you find that creativity is another one of those things that supports you in just like plugging in and recharging yourself? Like it's like you need that?
Yeah, yeah, I absolutely did. I sometimes forget it because when you paint for 8 hours, it also feels like work.
Yes, yes.
But now I'm trying to get back into a routine of painting like for 2 or 3 hours per day, and I realize how much better I feel,
Mm,
and without pressure. Like, okay, I will have some exhibitions next year, but I don't want to force myself to to finish the pieces just to finish them. I know that they need time. Um, and I just want to get into, yeah, as I said, into the routine, creating every day for 2 or 3 hours and see it slowly grow.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I think consistent commitment, like a time commitment to anything, right? Whether it be a painting or yourself or a friendship, right? No matter what it is. And they can overlap. That's the other beautiful thing. The time for painting can be time for yourself. The time with a relationship can be time for yourself. The time in nature, it can be time for yourself. It can be layered in how it supports you. But I think the intention of having it be a sacred commitment, I think sometimes that gets lost in how powerful that can be to just show up for yourself mindfully and intentionally every single day.
Mhm. Yeah. And I feel that it helps me like to, yeah, sometimes burn some Palo Santo before I start painting or light a candle, as you said, set an
Yeah.
intention. And also sometimes I'm listening to ASMR Reiki sessions in the background
Mm.
just to, yeah, to maybe to turn it into some more spiritual ritual.
Yeah. I
like
think that's
the
amazing.
like I think the first paintings they were also like an act of yeah, or a sacred act of expressing something or connecting to a higher power.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that it can be that sometimes and it doesn't have to be that all the time. And it still serves our like our heart, you know? Like
Yeah.
when we find the things that really work for us, when we find the things that really do bring us, I don't know, to center or to connect with a higher power or even to connect with ourselves, those things are, mm, they can look different every day, but they still serve us. And I find that beautiful that there can be variety within it. There can be variety within the consistency, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I felt the last years that it was nice to have these little rituals, like just to remind yourself. I mean, it's not really needed. Yeah, it's it's not necessary to make everything a ceremony. But it can be just nice to remember to shut out the world and no, I'm not available for anything else. No,
Yes.
now is my time, and now is the creative time.
Yeah.
And I hope also that the people, uh, the viewers who see later the paintings in the exhibition, that they can feel a little bit of the time
Mm.
or the atmosphere or yeah, the the soul of the painting.
Yes. Yes. That's so good. Is there anything about the book that specifically that you want to let people know about it before we wrap up? I want to make sure they know how to find it, but I also am just curious if there's anything else that you want to say about the book piece because becoming a published author is really cool and it's a really big deal.
Yeah, yeah, it was such a different experience already, and I'm so looking forward to tomorrow because we will have like the pre-launch call, and I think everybody will be like super excited tomorrow. The book will be published on the 23rd of July on Amazon. Um, and every author has a little QR code. So
Mm.
when you read my chapter and you feel that you want to tap more into paper cutting and you want to try it for yourself, um, the QR code will lead you to my homepage to the paper cutting section where you can see some of my work and where you will also later find the free masterclass and also once it's ready, then some other guide into paper cutting.
So can anybody do paper cutting?
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
accessible to everyone.
Yes, I've done it with kindergarten children,
Oh, wow.
like super small. Of course, you take the blunt, more blunt scissors and bigger paper, but they love to do it, and it's so great also to train your like the fine
Oh, yeah.
uh, of your hand, and it's fun for adults and teenagers. And recently, I began thinking about that it's also perfect for people who are colorblind or
Oh,
or visually impaired, because when you just use black and white, you still have the full, the full artwork without the need to see the colors.
wow. That's amazing. That's so good. And so it sounds like someone who comes in who feels like they're not artistic or creative at all, even if they don't believe they have any skills within the art world,
Yeah.
they could come in and you could teach them how to begin this practice and see how it feels for them.
Yeah,
That's
that's the
amazing.
best, the best experience of teaching. When somebody says, "Oh yeah, I don't know if I can do it. I've never been good at art in school or something like this," and I say, "Okay, but we start with super simple things like cutting a round shape, cutting a heart, and then we slowly start with more complicated things, and to see people tap into their own creativity and starting to experiment. Yeah, because for me, there's never right or wrong. You can do whatever you like. You will just get a different result, and that's so beautiful. And when you have 10 people in the group and everybody is doing the same thing, but they will all get different results, and they will all start to experiment on their own. And that's fantastic. That's the most beautiful thing for me.
I love that you said that because that was going to be my next question. What, like, without saying it, but like, what is your favorite part of teaching? Like, that's such a weird, vague question or too specific, maybe, but you just answered that. Is seeing people discover their own creativity and when they didn't think that it even existed to begin with.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I have that same experience with the Zentangle method, which is all about trusting the process and just you might get a different result, but it's the result that's yours. And
Yeah.
it's still just an amazing, beautiful creation. And I love what you just said about, you can teach them the method and then they make their own result.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so good. I can't wait. I'm excited. I want to try this class.
I will let you know for sure.
Yeah,
And yeah, I
definitely.
will also offer. I will probably offer more like the live classes, because, of course, it's a different kind of interaction when
Yes.
you have the direct exchange.
Right. That's amazing. Is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners that you feel might inspire them to maybe explore more and create more?
I would definitely and encourage them to try new things, to to try as many new things as they possibly can, because I feel that as an adult, we sometimes reduce the fun that we allow ourselves to have. Like it's always working or it's always to-do lists, always feel a little bit behind. And it's so great to just take some time out of the schedule and go to a gallery, go to a museum, see artworks, see if something inspire you, or go to an art class, or travel.
Yeah. That is such a powerful perspective and such a great awareness of adults sometimes forget to go play and have fun.
Mhm.
And it's so good to do that. The other thing I literally like saw when you were talking about going to a museum and exploring paintings, I want to go do that and add the layer of what you said about seeing if I can feel the energy or the area or like the soul of the artist, basically, because you described that earlier. Like that's, you have that intention when you paint, that the viewer, the person who's enjoying and appreciating the artwork, can actually feel the environment with which it was created, can feel your energy in your strokes. And I've never really done that with that perspective, but I very much want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy art and I love museums and appreciating things and just seeing the world through someone else's eyes and perspective. But I've never really dropped in intentionally feeling that energy in that specific way. And I'm very intrigued by it. Now I want to I want to go explore.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you're not into art, like, I mean, read the book because there are like more than 50 different women and they're not all artists, that they all do something else. And I think,
Yeah.
and the idea is that you open the book on any page and you might find something that will speak to you, that will inspire you. So I'm super looking forward to it. And also, I read already like four or five stories, and I'm so excited to read the rest and to see what new ideas I might get from it.
That's awesome. 50 people together in one book inspiring courage feels like a really cool thing.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you're part of that.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Yay.
So good. And to put your voice out into the world, like you're used to that with your art, right? To put it out, the timeless piece. But to put your words onto a page and put that out into the world, that's a different thing. And I believe for most people, if not all people, that takes some courage, especially the first time of like, oh wow, here I am in print,
Yes.
telling
And
telling
of course, I'm
something.
I'm planning to go like on a reading tour and offer like the reading together with a workshop.
Oh,
I
that's
can do
cool.
this in Germany, in Czech Republic, in Romania. Like I will contact all my friends all over the world and
Yes.
see where I can travel with this. Yeah.
Well, I have a studio. You are more than welcome to come do it in Minnesota if that calls to
Wow.
you.
Okay.
That's awesome. That feels like a really great place to wrap up. That little gem that you dropped about adults playing and doing something new every day is it's just so powerful. And I appreciate you sharing that. What a great way to wrap up. Is there anything else that you want to share?
I think that's it for today.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for our time together. I really appreciate that you reached out and said yes to being on this podcast, and that you shared your heart and your art and your energy with us here today. It was really great, and I hope of many things. I hope I get to take your class. I hope to meet you in person someday, and I hope that we connect in many different ways because I feel like we have a lot of similar interests and energy, and might be kind of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I'm super happy to meet you, and Yes, I want to stay in contact as well, and I will listen also to your podcast in the future.
Awesome.
It's very inspiring, and who knows, maybe we will meet in the States or in Czech Republic or some other part of the world.
That would be amazing. Will you share your website? I just realized I didn't ask you that.
Yeah, it's just my name, lailaseidel.com.
Okay, perfect. I will put it in the show notes as well.